Should teenagers do SARMs? Well, I get this question a lot via email, Twitter, Instagram, all that different stuff. And if you don't follow me on those platforms, then just check the description. But here's my opinion, my perspective on this. Okay, so first off, I'm not going to judge anyone because obviously, I've done plenty of this stuff. I would avoid doing it if you're under 18, mainly for two reasons. First one is that we need more long-term research on SARMs, and we don't understand that well how SARMs affect a young and developing body. But the bigger reason, actually, and I think the reason you probably care more about, is that you actually won't get really good results on SARMs unless you've already been working out for probably 4 to 5 years. And the reason why is because people have this perception where they think they can just take, a SARM or a steroid or whatever and magically just get really jacked, right? As jacked as like the Instagram pictures of me or of, different fitness people. And the truth is that SARMs basically amplify any anabolic compound will amplify what you're already doing. So you always want to start with the fundamentals, always, okay? And in fitness, the 3 fundamentals are your workout routine, your diet, and your recovery. And I go in depth on these fundamentals in my book, Body Fit Alpha. But the idea is that without these 3 fundamentals, you will only be getting a fraction of the results that you could get on SARMs or on steroids or whatever. So definitely get those 3 fundamentals down. And the thing is, too, there's a lot of little tricks that people don't realize, right? Like, my first cycle, for example, when I was 21 years old, it was a cycle of gear, and, it was like a fuck ton of shit, way more shit than I should have been taking. But I can get better results now using a small amount of SARMs or, a moderate dosage of SARMs than I could back then on a high amount of roids. Now, why is that? Well, it's because now I've actually, spent years learning about diet, nutrition. I've, all these little tricks you don't think of, like taking shots of apple cider vinegar or timing your meals a certain way, or, slightly different angles for when you're doing certain reps to just hit the muscle better, right? There's all these little tricks you don't realize, that are going to hinder your progress. And so, that being said, if you are going to do SARMs, when you're a teenager, be sure that you've, got the fundamentals down, right? Ideally, you shouldn't do a cycle until you've been working out for, 3, 4, 5+ years, because you don't understand the basics until then. Like I said, I can get better results now from a SARM cycle than I, could 5 years ago on actual gear, which is, generally stronger than SARMs. And the reason why, again, is because I understand the fundamentals, right? So, okay, workout routine. Number 1, you need a good routine. You need to do high volume. Personally, I really like doing a combination of strength training and high volume. That's what I respond to. A lot of hard gainers respond very well to that. But it'll vary, right? Nutrition is a huge one. So every hard gainer who tells me I can't seem to build muscle, this or that, 9 times out of 10, it's because you're not eating enough. And I know this because that was me, right? I would work out and I would hit the gym all the time, for like a year. And I was like, why am I not gaining any muscle? It was because I wasn't eating enough. And you might think you're eating enough, but you're probably not, okay? Unless you're actually counting your calories and doing this scientifically and methodically, and you can actually measure what you're doing in terms of calories and macros, you're probably not eating enough. Peter Drucker, the famous Harvard Business Review author, said what gets measured gets managed. And this applies to fitness as well as finances and everything else. If you can't measure how much you're eating, your protein intake, your caloric intake, your fat intake, everything else, macros, you're not going to be able to manage it and get it to that ideal level where you get the best results possible on SARMs. So long story short, if you're a teenager, basically I would avoid SARMs or any compound for that matter. If you're going to do it, then at least be safe. Google masculine development, SARMs, PCT, masculine development, how to use SARMs, things like that. Read the articles I've written. I can't really talk about it too much here because, clearly this is for informational purposes only, and I don't want to get my channel banned again. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section down below. And I'll put some helpful links in the description as well, so check those out. Get your free ebook on SARMs if you haven't already. And yeah, like my video, subscribe to my channel, ask me your questions below because I'm finally back. And as always, guys, I will see you next time.